Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tara Tarot and I will be doing your reading from August 15th to September 15th. This will be for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And as I have before, I shuffled the cards beforehand so we could jump right into the reading. I just didn't do it directly facing them because my tripod wasn't working, but I will show you guys each card that pulled. So, getting started, I will jump right in. So the first house is the House of You. This is the Ten of Cups. So I believe right now you're truly embodying happiness, and a lot of people see a lot of positive vibes from you, and people are really drawn to you at this time. I also feel like because this card relates to the home and having a happy home life, that right now you're really trying to make your space that you're living feel like yours. So you may be doing some renovations, or you may really be saving for the place to create like your own. But I do feel like a lot of you are really decorating or moving things around, maybe like a feng shui type of a thing, so that you can make yourself feel at home and really feel like a part of things. I feel like there's something about the summer months. When I saw this card, like the Ten of Cups, I really feel like when you guys are in your element and like the sun is out, you guys are really flourishing. And this card just tells me that like all areas of your life are very abundant right now. So I feel like this starts off as a very positive reading. Now the second house is your House of Finances, and the card that came out for that is the Two of Pentacles. So I don't know what just fell. Oh, a lot of my tarot cards. I'll get that later. So the second house is the House of Finances. With the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like you guys may be juggling two jobs. Perhaps you are taking on a second job, or you might just be working a lot like extra on the side. I think you're just juggling a lot of responsibilities right now, and I feel like this is to teach you willpower and to teach you what you're truly doing. And it's helping you to manage your money better, your time, your energy, and you're going to really recognize the resources that you're being given so that you're able to best use them for your benefit, essentially. I also feel like with the Two of Pentacles there, because I see like the infinity sign, you may be like trying out different things for your career path. So perhaps there's like, where am I going? Sorry. Perhaps there's something on the side that you're doing that is like really connected to your divine path, but maybe it's not making you as much money right now, but you recognize that you need to be doing it to be actively working towards it. So I feel like you're just taking on those responsibilities, and it's really worth it for you, and this is part of your faith, because I see the red ribbon, and I say that anytime I see these cards, is there's just like fate connected to it. It's something that you're meant to do. And the third house, the House of Communication, this is also the card of siblings. The card that came out here is Temperance. So I feel like you may be losing your patience a little bit when it comes to communication. I think you're communicating with people that don't really like confrontation. So I think there's a possibility that you're dealing with people who really, really don't want to have confrontation, so they're not telling you exactly how they feel. And in so, you have to deal with communication as if, like, you need to pull it out of them. So it's a little bit of what they say, but it's more of you having to intuit what they actually mean by what they're saying, because I feel like people aren't being fully honest. And I think a lot of the people in your life right now are part of like your soul tribe or your soul family. Like you feel very deeply connected to them, but that means that you're going to have a lot of communication issues as well. Not just communication issues, but you're going to have struggles and conflicts in your relationship, because that's what's helping each other grow. So what I see when I see this card is I feel like you guys need to be a little bit more direct and ask questions. I know it's annoying to have to pull things out of someone, but you might need to do that and kind of say, I don't think you're being fully honest with me, and call people out, because if you don't do that, then they don't think that you recognize it, and then you're not helping anyone in the situation. So I do think that you need to call people out a little bit this month when it comes to communicating, and I think it's a lesson that you'll both have to learn. But I do say that you have to be a little patient too and understanding, and sometimes I know you guys just kind of jump the gun and you get angry, and I need you to really like take a breath, because people aren't going to communicate with you, and that's what's going to cause more of this rift. So, yeah. Okay, so the 4th house is the house of family, not family, the house of your home. It is also the house of your mother. So I see with this the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're going to be feeling very confident right now. Like I said before, with decorating the home, making it feel like your own, I feel like there's something from childhood that you're kind of putting back around. Like if your mother decorated, or like your maternal figure decorated the house in a certain way, you may like take some of those things in at this time and like use them to make it feel a little bit more like home, because I feel like we're going back a little bit and like healing a lot of inner wounds with childhood, and that might even be dealt with by like creating a space at home that's going to make you like feel like you're there. I don't know if that's making sense, and I said like 1,000 times, so I'm really, really sorry. I get very nervous when I put this camera on, especially when I like look at myself. So, but yeah, I really feel like you'll be sprucing up your life. I think a lot of things that are going in your house, you're going to be making or like creating. I see like a very creative vibe. So you're really making things in the house. You might be having very positive relationships with your like mother as well. I also feel like you may be inviting people to your home. So you might be trying to show them off kind of what you did in a way. Yeah. So, 5th house. This is the house of romance, and the card that came out for that is the Queen of Swords. So I feel like you're cutting someone out. I feel like for some reason someone's hurt you enough and you're kind of done with their shit. They've told you something, it's not going that way, it hasn't went that way. So now what you're doing is you're being cold, but you're shutting them out. And it might have been something that you've been asked to do for a while. I do feel like I remember telling you guys that there were some things and some people that were showing you their true colors, and maybe you didn't want to see it. But I think you finally are, and now you're kind of done with them. So here you are, just coming in, bad bitch, cutting them out, because we don't want to deal with their shit. So I really feel like there's someone that you've been involved with and you're going to cut them out of your life, because I think that you see things for what it is and you've gained clarity on their character, and now you don't really want to be a part of that energy, especially if you're in this 10 of Cups abundance. You don't want anyone else to be dragging you down right now. Now, the 6th house is the house of health, and you have the 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands is about having like the world at your fingertips and having to just make a choice and like go in a certain direction. So I feel like you're doing very well in a lot of areas of your life. You're starting to make choices, you're starting to move, you may be adopting new like ways that you eat, new exercise regimens, things of that nature. But I feel like you're gonna have to you're like picking between like 2 extremes, because I do feel like Leos do a lot of things in extremes. And that may mean something that's all about the mind, and that may be something that's all about the body. So it could be like, oh, I'm going to go into meditation fully, or I'm going to start going to the gym every day. And either way, like, the choice that you make here doesn't necessarily matter, because they're both extremely positive, but it is beneficial and at your best interest to really start doing those things. Also, it just creates a more positive mindset. Your like hormones start to balance out a little bit, and you have less stress, and yeah, like there's just going to be a lot of positive things that come with that, and therefore you have higher willpower and you get things finished easier. So that's what I see with the 6th house. I don't know why I had to do that. Okay. 7th house is the house of relationships, business partnerships, relationships of all kinds. It could be romantic as well, could be marriage, but this could also deal with other areas. So I see here the Knight of Wands. What I feel for that is that I think that you're going to charge in with something. So there might have been an idea that you're truly bringing to life, and you may have had this idea for a little bit, but now it just came to you and you just like want to rush towards it. So I feel like it could be with another fire sign, and I think this is a business partnership. Just because this is all about passions and all about like your drive, and you have that 2 of Pentacles earlier that I was talking about finances. So I think that you're taking on another job or creative venture, and this could be with another fire sign who's just as spontaneous and eager to work as you are. And I think that it's going to be a very, very positive partnership or like person that's coming into your life, because they're really going to help you through this time to just focus on your work and focus on progressing your own life. And the 8th house is the house of transformation. I see the 4 of Swords, so I feel like you might feel like things are kind of at rest because maybe things were charging forward so quickly before, and now it's like taking a little bit of a break. Even though there are things flooding in with you, I think that it might feel like a lot slower than it has these past few months. But I think that's just because things are trying, like, they're not trying to show you all of the answers. They're trying to tell your mind to be at rest because you're going to have everything flooding towards you soon enough anyway. But there's no reason to keep you in a place of just only thinking about it, because then you're not going to be actually getting anything done. So if you can shut off all of the signs and, you know, communication that you may have you might have been given before, there you go, then if you shut that off, then I think you'll be able to work a lot harder and like with less like judgments, because you have all these ideas about things. Now if you're not really thinking about it, you're just kind of moving, you're like, who cares what the outcome is, that's kind of when you succeed, because you're just thinking about where you are right now and not the future. The 9th house is the house of travels, philosophy, and you have the 3 of Swords. So I feel like there was a trip you were supposed to go on that may not have worked out. This could have been because it was like with this person that you're cutting out in your life, or you could have received some kind of a heartbreak this month, and that heartbreak is really propelling you forward to start thinking about life a little bit differently and studying philosophy in a very different way. There is a lot of sorrow that comes with this card, but I also feel like this is an inevitable card so that we can get to a place of rest. So I think by dealing with this heartbreak and by kind of going within a little bit and having some rest, and you will get better clarity. I stumbled my words a lot again. I'm sorry, you guys are the first, so like by the time I get around to Cancers, I'll be great. So, you know, watch the rest of the readings. Anyway, 10th house. 10th house is the King of Cups. So there may be someone that is giving you a romantic offer at work. I do feel like this person may be a Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio, or have a lot of water in their chart. This person is very charming, but they may be a little bit emotionally manipulative. They probably don't think so. So when I say that word, I feel like people think manipulation and think they're evil. And I need you to understand that everyone manipulates everything in one way or another. So it's not something that this person is trying to do in a negative way, but you may recognize that this person has a certain way with words, or has this like charming front about them that may not be all that they're about. That is all that I'm saying to look out for. But I do think that an offering will come from someone at work. And I do believe he may be older than you. It is a possibility that this person has light features, because a lot of things that come with cups deal with like light eyes, light hair, fair skin. Not always, but it can mean that. 11th house, the house of friendships. Here we go. King of Swords. You may gain clarity about a friend who has been talking about you. And I think when you find this out, you will have known that they were doing so for a while. And I don't think you're going to get angry, and I don't think you're going to react. And that might shock you. But I do believe at this time that you will figure something out that you may not have believed about them or wanted to believe. Now, I also feel like this person can be an air sign, and it can be a male. Air being Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. If that is the case right now, this person, this heartbreak, this could also be what that is about. Like, this heartbreak and cutting someone out could mean it could be someone that you have feelings for, or you've had feelings for in the past, but they could even be a friend. And it could be such like a heartbreak to you because you really cared about this person very much, so very strongly in your heart. But I do feel like they've been talking behind your back, and they've been very harsh against things that you're doing, and they're not being fully honest with you, and you really may need to cut them out. So I think that you're going to be very cold against them, but I don't feel like you're going to react too strongly either. I think you're just going to kind of ghost them a little bit. And maybe that's something that you don't often do. So I think you guys kind of need to hear that in a way. I also feel like there will be an alliance between you and someone else. Perhaps you and another water sign that you start to find comfort in this time. I see that because I see 2 kings, and that usually points to an alliance. I also see 2 queens, so I feel like there may be some drama with another woman. It could be someone getting involved with it in a romantic relationship that you have, or someone that you're interested in. Now, the 12th house is the 5 of Swords in reverse. So, the 5 of Swords relates to someone walking away from something, hurting someone else. And like, nobody's walking away with good feelings. There's just been like an outbreak, a war, like a false war, just people being angry at one another. When it's in the reverse, it's that like tenfold. So I do feel like there's, at the heart of this, you're doing a lot better than you've been doing, and your life is really starting to take off, and I think that's because you have to cut someone out of your life, and you start to recognize that they've been holding you back. I feel like at the heart of the reading, the 12th house is what's unknown, or what's hidden, or what is at the heart of everything that I need to tell you. And this is just telling me that there's someone that's betrayed you, and you're really feeling very hurt by this. But after some rest, you'll recognize that they're really not worth it. You're going to start a new business partnership or a new creative venture with a fire sign, and I believe someone who is a water sign from work may spark your interest. Now, the bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man. So I don't believe anything is really truly under your control. In fact, I believe that you feel like you must surrender, and I think that is the essence of this reading, since it is the bottom of the deck. I think you really need to surrender to whatever is happening to you, and just try not to fight it. Try not to hold on to things, because that's just your ego talking. And if you do that, then you're going to stop yourself from progressing. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I'm sorry for it getting out so late. I will see you guys next month, and thank you.